Welcome to Coffee with the Chamber, our first installment of our new series. We have Stephen Lask from benePerks with us. Stephen is a resident of Siler City. So, Stephen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. So, resident of Siler City, graduated Jordan Matthews, '08, attended the United States Military Academy. My family's got multiple businesses in the area. Spent about 10 years in the Army, and then once I got out, wanted to bring my family back to a place that, my kids could grow up, that I grew up, that I knew was safe, a tight community, and so we ended up moving back to Siler City, and that kind of brings us to today.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
So growing up in Siler City and then going to West Point, probably a pretty big change there, I would say.
Yeah.
So give us some detail. How did West Point shape your development and your maturation process?
Well, it definitely it made me very familiar with getting up early. At the academy, there's a lot that is structured, which isn't something that was new to me necessarily, but
Yeah.
your every minute of every day is planned out, and on top of that, they give you a really high course hour load for the academic side. And then they expect you to perform as well as at military things as well as physical things too. So really, it was a big structured environment under a lot of pressure, but it helped me kind of develop the ability to operate under pressure, to calmly, deal with problems, situations, things like that. And I think it kind of made me able to a little bit better at multitasking as well, and kind of expand my skill set that I already had. So definitely a humbling experience for sure.
Yeah, definitely. What drew you to West Point?
So I always felt like a call to service. My grandfather being in the service as well, grew up watching the History Channel with him, kind of idolized a lot of the classic leaders that you see from World War II and everything. Also had a really big love of country, wanted to give back, and I saw service as a way to kind of break out, develop myself, as well as kind of see the world and maybe make the world a little bit of a better place as well.
Well, cool. Well, I know everybody in our membership in our chamber thanks you for your service.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Obviously, you're not in the service anymore actively, so kind of tell us about your professional background a little bit. How did you transition?
Yeah, absolutely. So I left active duty in 2017, transitioned to the reserves, where I'm currently serving. But as I looked for the next career, that the kind of service to community and helping out citizens kind of still stuck with me. I was turned on to selling insurance, which was a little bit outside of my scope, but it again helped me develop and gain more skill sets in an area I wasn't familiar with. So ran through insurance sales, kind of explored and learned that situation and how it currently is in the country. And then when COVID hit, when we were all kind of forced to not interact with each other, a couple of coworkers and I were able to take an assessment of the current state of employee benefits and how difficult it is to see doctors in the country. And we kind of started putting together a solution using our combined experience that would help ultimately the average worker in America. And so that's where the idea of our company benePerks was born. And so we launched probably back in beginning of 21, and as COVID kind of walked itself back, we ramped up our process and our kind of exposure to folks and kind of launched officially at that time.
Cool. So being a part of a new company that's coming up and transitioning from an established one to a newer one, and those types of challenges, what have you learned in that time frame?
I've learned that community and relationships, interpersonal relationships, are really what make or break a company. So much of our society is dominated by big box stores, high volume everything. People are used to a certain level of, on demand, whatever it is, service, products, anything.
Yeah.
But really what it comes down to, if your goal is to, improve the average person's life or the local community person's life, it takes a networking and a relationship building with the local community to actually affect change. There's so much we don't have control over, but the interpersonal communication and working together is kind of what we've learned has really allowed us to thrive and grow as a company.
Yeah, definitely. I think you see that in about everything with the relationship part of it. So
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
connections are huge.
Yes, absolutely.
And speaking of our community, what's something that benePerks, how would they fit in our community? How could they serve our community? What type of businesses would be well for you?
So benePerks is our whole goal is to serve the under 50 employee market, right? So the majority of the companies in the country are small businesses under 50 employees, and our solutions that we provide are tailored toward small businesses. A lot of times, companies are going to look to provide some sort of benefit to their employees to help them, stay employed with them, to help them out in their home life, to help them with their health. And the rates they get back are astronomical, and it's just outside the scope. So they're faced with a choice of, do I break, my bottom line to take care of the employees and not be in business, or do I just provide nothing and watch employees come and go because I can't incentivize them to kind of stay with me? And so where we fit is we're an affordable solution that allows companies to provide value and to show that they're taking care and they care about their employees, without breaking the bank, but also providing a really great value to their employees at the same time.
Yeah. That's not a choice anybody wants to be faced with.
No, but all too often,
their money.
Yeah,
So.
Exactly. And ultimately, too, when it comes down to it, you may have employees that'll run for an extra $1 an hour down the street to a competitor, but they really, a lot of them will take a lesser paying job in some instances if it provides some sort of benefits or healthcare or security in that aspect. It's an intangible you can't really calculate. You just have to know your people.
Yeah, definitely. What kind of response have you had from small businesses on it?
Well, we had a great response. Our user feedback is great. We're constantly improving our process and our products based on feedback, but we focused on simplicity. So much with healthcare is complex right now. I know myself, I go cross-eyed trying to figure it out sometimes too.
Don't we all?
And really simplicity, straightforwardness, affordability, and we've gotten a lot of good responses. So we're starting to gain traction, not just in the local community, but across the country now as well. And we're looking to just continue to grow to help out as many people as we can.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what gets you excited about our community in the Siler area?
The biggest thing is the growth. I've always loved Siler. I felt like it was kind of a hidden gem, and I think with the growth of industry, we're going to see a lot of increase of all of those ancillary support structures that are required for a massive company moving into the area. So I see plenty of job opportunities, plenty of opportunities for all businesses to thrive. So it's no longer a dog-eat-dog world. It's now we can actually all work together and all be successful and really turn this county and this state ultimately into kind of maybe the example for the rest of the country to follow as to how to be successful.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's heading that way.
Absolutely,
so, yeah. So as we close, one lesson from West Point for our listeners. What's the one thing you could deliver to them?
Let's see. Probably, if you make a mistake, own up to it. There's no shame in admitting that you make a mistake, and I think it helps build trust with everybody around you. We're all not perfect. We're all human, and it's only after admitting that we can be successful. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, this is Stephen Lask with benePerks. Give them a shout. What's the best way for folks to get a hold of you?
You can visit benePerks.com, or you can check us out. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn as well. We'd love to have the followers.
Yeah, definitely worth a visit. See if they can help your small business and how they can further your business in that too. So thanks for joining us today. Stay tuned. More episodes coming your way.